Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi Theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we've got a great little scroll effect for you today. If I scroll down this page, you'll see a little parallax image come into view. There it is, the little city at the bottom there. When it gets halfway up the page, we're going to have a little contact form fade in. And of course people can click on this, fill it out and send it as they need to. And you can do that with any module, and as we scroll back down, it'll disappear again. Same in reverse. Really easy to do, no coding involved today. This will also be perfectly responsive. I'm using Google Chrome here with the inspector tool, so if I hit F12, we can take a look at it on an iPad. There's an iPad. If I scroll on down, there's our parallax image, there's our little form coming in and disappearing out the top there. And it'll do the same on a phone. There it is down at the bottom there. And there's the little form. Like I say, really easy to do, so let's get started. I'm going to enable the visual builder so we can build on the front end. And once loaded, I'm going to go down and we'll delete this whole section and start from scratch. Blue tab for a section, green tab for a row, dark tab for a module. I'm going to delete the row and we'll start again. Okay, I've got two sections, one above and one below. I'm going to put a new section right in the middle here so we can demonstrate the scrolling. Little blue button right there. I'm going to use a regular section. Inside, I'm going to put a single column and a single row. Divi comes as standard with all these light grey modules right here, plenty enough to build just about any site. I'm actually going to use a contact form for mine today. There it is. This of course will work with any module that you need to use. I won't go through this too much, we've styled contact forms before. If you want to add a new field, just hit the new button here. And you can go in there and style them however you wish. You can give it a title if you want to, that'll appear at the top. I'm going to leave mine blank. Good idea to give a success message. That way, when they've sent it, they'll know that they've sent it. And you can have the submit button say anything you want. By default, there's a captcha built in there. The important one down below is the email. This is where you want this actual message sent to. So that's obviously your email address. You can redirect them after a send to a new page or wherever you want. I'm going to leave mine just with the success message and leave it where it is. I'm going to get rid of my little captcha there. You can use a third-party one like Google Capture. You'd have to put in an API key, but that's a great service if you're getting a bit of spam. Let's just go down. We'll change the background. I'll give it a basic blue background color. Give it a bit of spacing so we can see what's going on. I'm going over to the Design tab now. And you can style your text and all your fields separately, however you want. I'm just going to make that button white in color by turning the custom styles to on. You can go to town on the button, but I'm just going to make mine white so we can see it there. And let's add a bit of spacing all around and we should be good to go. I'm going into spacing, still under Design tab. I'm going to say add, let's give it 30 pixels all around. Just put the 30 in, it'll put the pixels in, hit the chain, it'll do the opposite side for you. There we go, fantastic. So I'm going to leave my contact form just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a parallax image in the background in our section here. So I'm going to click outside our little form there. I'm going to hit the cog. I'm going to go into background. I'm going to go to image. You've got color, gradient, image, video, background pattern or background mask. I'm going to use a simple image today. I think I'll use that same image I used before. That seemed to work rather well. And there it is in the background. That's a simple section with a contact form. So let's make it a little bit more interesting. At the moment this is a static image. Let's turn it into a parallax image. To do that, just roll down. We're still on the background where we've added our image. You can see the image there. If we roll down, a little button there says use parallax effect. And we got two choices. We got true parallax, which is moving the background at a different rate than the foreground. Don't know if you catch that. I'll give this section a bit more padding in a minute. You'll be able to see it better. And there's CSS parallax, which is also known as fixed background. And the image will stay where it is when you roll the page up and down. That's pretty dramatic. So I'm going to flip mine back to true parallax. You may be seeing frames sort of stuttering a little bit. That's mainly due to my recording software that I'm using as I'm capturing this. This is actually quite a smooth effect. But if you are seeing it stutter, that's the reason. Okay, well I'm going to leave mine right like that. While we're still in the section, I'm going to make it a bit deeper so we can see that effect a little bit better. In the design, I'm going to go down to our spacing once again. And I'm going to give it 100 pixels padding top and bottom. And again, just put in 100. Hit the chain, it'll do both of you. That's given that section a bit more height there. I think you might be able to see that a little bit better, like that. Okay, great. So let's save that. Now what we want, I don't want to see that form really. I want to see that nice parallax image until it gets to about here. Then we'll have the form starting to fade in. Then it gets up to about here, which is probably about 60% of the screen. We want it fully in so people can fill it out and submit it if they need to. And again, this is really easy, no coding involved in this today. If we click on the module itself and go in there, the dark tab, we can go over to the advanced. If we roll down, you'll find scroll effects. And we got vertical motion, horizontal, we got fade, which we'll be using. We got scale, which you can make it grow or shrink in size. You've got rotate, and you've got blur. So I'm going to actually use the fade for this today. I'm going to move this down to the bottom of the page. I'm going to hit the enable fading in and out slider right here. Okay, and you may have noticed now we've enabled this, it's faded out already, because at the bottom of the screen, or 0%, right at the bottom here, viewport bottom, it's 0% opacity, which is transparency or see-throughness, so it's pretty much invisible down there. If I take this down even further, you'll see it's disappeared fully. That's great, but when it gets up to about here, I don't want to see it so soon, but when it gets up to 60% or so, I want to be fully visible. So that's 100% visibility. And here's the viewport bottom, top, and that's halfway up. I'm going to move that to about 60%. And I want the 100% to stay from about 60% up the screen to about 90%. So from here to about here, and then it can fade back out again. So this last one, I'm going to make that a 0, so it'll fade back out at the top there. As you can see, it fades out, and we're left with our little parallax image there. If we go back down, fades out, still coming in a little bit too quick. So I'm going to drag this slider up to about maybe 30%. Well, I don't want to see it before then, so if we go about, we can see our little image there, the parallax image coming in. Now we're sliding up about 30%. It's going to start to fade in. 60%, it's fully visible. Now you can click on it, fill it out, send it off. Or 100%, it's going to disappear off the top there. And that's a nice little eye-catching effect to have on your site. Okay, so let's save everything and make sure it's going to work on the front end. Save our page changes, save draft or publish if you're ready. Let's exit the Visual Builder. Here's our page, we'll scroll down. There's our little parallax image coming in there. There's our contact form fading in. We can go ahead, fill it out, submit it. When we roll further down the page, it's going to disappear. And of course it'll do the opposite in reverse there. So there you go, guys. There's how to create a little fade-in contact form over a parallax image. Nice little feature to have on your site. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.